Hello Singaporeans, I will talk about the decaying HDB lease. Is it a myth or reality? Do you remember Lee Hsien Loong said, the HDB flat is not just a shelter but also a key investment asset. Over the long term, the value of HDB flats depends on the strength of the Singapore economy. Provided Singapore continues to do well, our flats will maintain their value and Singaporeans can enjoy an appreciating assets. And now, do you remember Lee Kuan Yew said, we intend to keep the value of these homes up. It will never go down because it will be renewed. The surroundings will improve, and as Singapore prospers, GDP goes up, the value of homes will go up. So I hope you listen to what these two men have said and remember every single words. Okay, I have 4 points to make here. 1. What happens to an HDB flat after the 99 years lease ends? Upon expiry of the 99-year lease, the value of your flat drops to zero. The HDB flat is returned to the landowner, which is HDB, and HDB then surrenders the land to the state. That is a common notion that the government is obliged to pay compensation when the 99 years lease ends, but this isn't true at all. Number 2 is the Selective and Broad Redevelopment Scheme, SERS, S-E-R-S, the answer for 99-year lease HDBs. This is the most ideal solution for most HDB owners. HERS is often rolled out when the flat reaches its 40th year into its 99 years lease. So, if your flat has 60 years remaining, it can be subjected to SERS redevelopment. The government takes back the flats before the lease expires, gives out compensation as appropriate, and provides new homes with fresh leases to the owners. However, this isn't always the case. To prevent speculation, locations targeted for SERS are not disclosed until the final notice, and the government is not obligated to use SERS. HDB has stated that only about 5% of all HDB flats are suitable for redevelopment under SERS, meaning SERS may or may not happen. I will suggest en bloc redevelopment scheme could be made mandatory so that the value of HDB flat will not drop to zero when 99-year lease expire. Okay. Number 3 is the Volunteering en bloc Redevelopment Scheme, VERS, fair for flat owners. When an HDB development reaches 70 years or older, a VERS offer will be made. If enough flat owners consent to it, the flats will be brought back by HDB with a payout based on the remaining value of the lease. We haven't seen a VERS exercise in Singapore yet, so the exact details are still sketchy at this point. However, the government has made clear that VERS compensation will be less generous than SERS. Number 4, can we expect a deluge of vacant resale flats on the market in the future? Singapore is a rapidly aging country. At some point, the older generation will pass on, and they will hand down their flats to their children. However, given that Singapore has about 90% home ownership rate, many of their children likely already have their own flats, condo, etc., which could lead to a deluge of vacant resale flats on the market unless the rules changes by then. This is hard to visualize in 2024 when demand is high and there are complaints about insufficient housing. But we should remain conscious of our aging problem. Some might say a deluge of vacant flats at lower prices isn't a bad thing for our future generation. However, there are real obstacles to selling older flats. For instance, once your flat is nearing the final stages of its life, financing can be tougher to acquire. You can't use your CPF to buy a flat with 20 or fewer years left on the lease. And banks won't finance flats with 30 years or fewer on the lease. This should logically make it very tough to sell an old flat. Additionally, for old flats in less prime locations, depletion and difficulty selling are going to be serious obstacles. Lastly, I would love to hear your thoughts. And do you think the best and brightest in our PAP government can find solutions? I am Puah from Red Dot United. Thank you.